All righty, tighty. It is Wednesday. Who knew, right?
Didn't know.
It's crazy. I tell you, crazy. Okay, get ready for some fun stuff. We got a lot of things to talk about today. We're going to fast forward the slide that we have here. You're there. Okay, now we're good. Hey, that's me. Welcome, everyone. Terry's on with me live. Lots of you will watch the replay, but we have lots of nuggets of awesome to go over. And I thought, what a great thing to kind of hit some of our cool things. And a lot of you have been around for a long time, so you know the career path. So I kind of skipped over that at the moment. But I wanted to make sure I spent a couple seconds on this Global Grow and Celebrate Challenge, because I always feel like anytime the company offers something, it takes us a minute to figure out what the heck they're talking about. And this runs through the end of June. And this is for all independent beauty consultants. You can achieve the first phase of the new Global Grow and Celebrate Challenge when you reach team leader, elite team leader, or director in qualification with 5 or more active personal team members by June month end. And I believe it's first time, I think. Those who complete the challenge and attend seminar will get a special lanyard at Bling Badge Pickup, and you can check out all the specific details on InTouch. So basically, passing it on, sharing what we do and why we love it. Very matter of fact, conversational, no stress. It's going to help you in that team building challenge part of things. The monthly sales challenge coming up this week, or this month rather. This was the one for last month. I earned that and it was super cute. Oh my gosh, it's huge. This is the cute one for this month. Isn't that pretty? It's like clear with little lipsticks on the outside.
That's very cute.
I think it looks like a change purse.
No, I think it's a makeup purse.
Is it a bigger makeup bag? Okay. Well, I think it's really cute. And that's a really cool thing to earn when you do 700 wholesale, because you're selling the product and you need to place those wholesale orders.
Mm-hmm.
So Star Consultant time, we are in the thick of the fourth quarter. We're in the fourth quarter. It goes through June 15th. Remember, we finished the Star quarter 2 weeks before the end of the seminar year. So we have some overlapping fun time. And this Star Consultant program is so wonderful, you guys. You can kind of shop ahead of time, get an idea of what it is that you're wanting to work towards. And I think that's super exciting. So check that out on InTouch. It's under contests, and you'll be able to find it and do a little bit of look-see and see what all is out there, because it's everything. It used to be like you'd only have like 2 or 3 prizes per level. And you could always pick the MK Connections vouchers, but really those were your choices. And so it really wasn't a ton of choices, but this is like unlimited, and you can bank your points. So let's say you've got some points that have accrued from quarter to quarter, you can put them all together, and that way it'll help you when you're working towards a specific goal. Like maybe you want to get a luggage set, or maybe you want to get an iPad, which is a lot of points, but you can hold those over and spend them as you need to. Or you can there's travel things or gift cards, all kinds of stuff. We still have our red jacket collection for this chunk of time here, our stylish classic, our bomber jacket, and our plaid, which I think are very, very, they're all silly, cute, and trendy, and they go with everything you can wear here, as you see. So it's a cool thing, and it's a uniform. So when you have to get it dry cleaned, it's a business expense. It's true. Don't forget, we've got the new consultant options. We are down to just 2 things to pick, because I think that third option was confusing people. So the E starts 35, the Pro starts 90. Put it together, it's 125. So those are their options. They can either sign up for 35 and keep it just like that, or they can do 90 with the 35 and have it be the 125 plus tax and shipping. They don't have to do it both at the same time. If they want to add on the 90 option within 15 days of their start date, they can do that. Now here's the cool stuff. Here we go. There are some upcoming price adjustments coming mid-month. And so here's some things to think about. What would it look like if you were to sell let's pretend you got a hydrogel eye patches. Right now they're $40. If you sell them for $44 on May 16th, because that's the new retail price, then you actually have an increase in profit if you've already got them on your shelf, right? Because on May 16th, that's when the website changes all their prices. When the catalogs are all reaching everybody's homes, they'll have the updated prices in there. So all of these updated prices will be there for you to refer to and reference. But I'm a big fan of, if you've got the ability to sell ahead of time, like even think like for Mother's Day, I mean, yeah, it's around the corner, it's Sunday, but if you were to have some people, using up gift cards, if you were to sell like some gift certificates, one thing that I like to do is I'll offer $125 for $99. That way they're getting a little bit of a discount. You're still getting some payments so that you can place some orders and still make some profit. And, if they want to go ahead and pre-order those things, you can do that. Lots of options that are available there for you. But now it's time for summer. Men need skincare too. And we don't mean shampoo. They need to stop washing their face with shampoo. We've got the daily face wash. Look how sleek this packaging is. $20. The moisturizing shave cream. I'm very interested to check that out because lots of my women customers loved the shave foam in the old men's line. The shave cream is $20. And then the MK Men Ultimate Moisturizer is $30. It's fabulous. Now, here's the thing. If they want SPF protection, then that's an add-on that you can have. They can either get the Daytime Defender, right? Or they could get the mineral facial sunscreen SPF 30. Both are SPF 30s, right? Mm-hmm. You could, if they're like out and about and need body protection, you could offer up the SPF 50 sunscreen that we have, because that is for face and body. So it's not included in the moisturizer as it was before, but I love that they call it a moisturizer because, by golly, it is the end. So the whole set together is $70, and this would be a great thing to be thinking ahead for Father's Day. I think it'd be really great. So that's a good one that is available for ordering. If you enrolled any customers in PCP, the Preferred Customer Program, you can order on the 10th. If you did not, then you can order on the 15th. So that's pretty great. You can order right before the price increases happen. Mm-hmm. And take advantage of the new stuff. And this is a great opportunity too, Terry, that I used to do this all the time, pre-orders.
Okay.
Like you can show this off to people and say, hey, I'm going to be able to order before you can see it online. Here's what I have. What would you like? So this is one option. This is the Berry and Blush limited edition tinted lip oil. So they're showing it on both sets of either more of a bronze or an ivory beige skin tone, so you can kind of see what it would look like. It's a small package. And this is one of the beauty that counts, where $1 from each sale goes back to the Mary Kay Ash Foundation, which I think is always wonderful. Flat 20. So it's the same price as the lipsticks, right? So that you don't have to rememorize anything there.
Right.
But limited edition does mean it's only in the summer lookbook. So when they're gone, they're gone. This is heavenly. Unless you don't like coconut or lavender. If you don't like coconut or lavender, you're not going to love this, but they're really great. You've got the lavender and coconut scented shower gel and body lotion. Pardon me, the same size as the other two that we have in the almond and apple and berry and vanilla, right? Mm-hmm. Same size. They're really great. And you got some lavender and coconut action going on. Great for summertime. Isn't it? Just screams summer. I think so. Yes. Then here's a new fragrance. Mary Kay Confidently You Eau de Parfum. I took French. And it's 55 is your retail on that one. It's beautiful, you guys. Truly, truly beautiful. And it's a little powerful. So like you don't need to like spray like 6 sprays on yourself. It's like a spray and walk into yourself. But
Hey.
it's great. It's really great. And it looks sexy, just saying. Okay. And our spring products, we still know what those are. We've got our Great Heights mascara for 18. The bronzers and the highlighters for 22. Our limited edition brow kits are still available, I think, for 28. Our new packaging, but same formula, nourishing oil for 50. And then, as we talked about earlier, the facial body sunscreen for 30 for SPF 50. And after sun replenishing gel, which will sell out because it always does. It's still blue. That's the most common question I've gotten on this. Is it still blue? Yes, it's still blue. They just have it packaged to match the others. So, and then the beach towel, I believe, is still available in those bundles. You just have to make sure that when you're ordering them, that you order it with this wording or with the part number. You can look it up as well, but it's the Protect and Refresh bundle or Pure Protection bundle. And then that way, once you order it, you get the option to add on the blankets at the end. Okay. Or the towels, not blankets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay. Diving into digital, get more comfy with doing social media stuff. Throw yourself out there, throw yourselves to the wolves. Check out how to do some of them, figure it out on the fly. I've been doing a lot of figuring it out on the fly because I feel guilty when I stand in front of the computer for too long. So yeah, check it out. It's some good stuff. But now I wanted to make sure you guys saw this. Seminar 2025.
Get ready for an event like you've never seen before. For the first time in Mary Kay history, we are taking Seminar on the road, and we couldn't be more excited. Seminar 2025 will be heading to Charlotte, North Carolina. Imagine celebrating in a place known as the Queen City. What better place to recognize the accomplishments of our Mary Kay royalty, their courts, and all of our fabulous achievers. And there's nowhere better than Seminar to transform your goal setting into goal getting. For 3 impactful days, you can soak up all the education, inspiration, and motivation surrounded by your Mary Kay family. What else is new? Seminar 2025 will be big, really big, with 2 seminar affiliations attending each event. The first seminar will be Diamond and Ruby, held July 24th through the 27th. And the second seminar will be Emerald and Sapphire, held July 28th through the 31st. You don't want to miss this groundbreaking Mary Kay event. Be a part of Mary Kay history in Charlotte, North Carolina at Seminar 2025. See you there.
Ooh. And then, of course, we have our tea party completing 4 of the 6 tasks by June 30th. Making sure you check these out here. Adding 2 qualified team members, attending 4 guest events with guests, 5 sharing appointments, maintain active status, earn the Power Up prize twice, or sell 60 or more skincare sets. Those are the exciting. You do 4 of the 6, you get to come to our tea party. And we've still got our promo here with 100 faces, 100 shares, 100 new. In our 100-day dash, oh my gosh, we're down to 55 days, just so you know. And Queen of Hearts for tracking purposes, we still have that available for you guys. I'll make sure you guys re-get those. Boy, I can't even talk right. And tracking. All the tracking's available there for you. But I am going to get out of the screen share part. So get me out of here. Get me out of here. Out. Okay. Did I stop screen sharing?
Yes.
Okay, but I was screen sharing this whole time?
Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
I know, every once in a while.
Every once in a while I get it right. Okay, so there's this thing, like, I know that we talk about, what's the word I look for? Like our personality traits and what we go for and all of the stuff. So they have the DISC personalities. Have you heard of that? Okay, that's, I think, something that a lot of people have heard of, where it's DIS and C, and you take a quiz and you figure out, what's your dominant personality trait. Are you a dominant? Are you, a social butterfly? Are you more of a safety and security type? Are you more of a critical thinker? Whatever they are. So, but there's one, I don't know if you know this one, the 5 basic needs. Have you heard of that one?
Not really, but
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So the 5 basic needs are, I have to make sure I remember them because I always forget one and I get really mad at myself. But there's a quiz we're going to take here in a second. And we're not going to post your results, but I want you to take it while we talk through it here. So basically, there's fun and pleasure. There's freedom and flexibility. There's love and belonging. There's safety and security. And there's power and achievement. Okay. I just said them all and I got them right. I know they were right. And sometimes it's important to be able to figure out or know what someone is as far as what juices them. Because if you're trying to motivate them a certain way that might work for one person,
but it doesn't for another.
It totally might not work for the other person, right? And so it's really kind of telling. So there's this thing called, and I'm going to pop up the website here because it's a free quiz. And I'm going to kind of read along, but you're going to take it. I'm going to take it on the screen because I'm pretty sure people know what I am. But you can click on that while we go. Okay. So I'm going to screen share to the 5 basic needs quiz. There.
And I'm taking this as we do this, right?
Yeah, take it as we do it. It'll be fun. So question number 1.
Okay.
I love to make friends. I don't like making mistakes. I don't like it. Yeah, that's correct. I do not like it. Okay. I like to have choices. Not too many choices. I'm going to say sure. Okay. I laugh a lot. No.
Not at all.
When I'm hungry, I need to eat. Yes, that is true. That is very true. It's easy for me to talk to anyone. Okay, I'm going to say yes because I can do it. Sometimes I'm nervous about it. Ooh, this is a good one. I like to watch others before I try something new. Are yours being the same questions?
Yep, I'm literally taking it as you're going through it. So.
I am an active person. What do they mean?
I don't know.
I think it's open to interpretation, don't you?
I do too.
Sure, I'm active. Sure. I have collections. No.
Okay. Now, what do they mean by this?
Money makes me secure. That one?
No, I have collection. It's fine. I answered it.
I would think of if a stamp collection, a dog collection.
Okay, a Winnie Pooh collection.
Sure, that's a collection. Yes. Oh, that's so good. Money makes me secure. Well, I would like to hope so.
Right?
I like to talk on the phone. Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I don't like change.
That's a hard one.
I'm going to say I don't like it, even though I suck it up and go with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sitting at school is hard for me.
Yes.
I like to tell jokes.
Danny.
I know. My health is my priority. I should make it my priority, but it currently has not been.
Mm-hmm.
I like to work with other people, very much so. I want my desk or room kept neat. Tragic flaw. I used to, and then something happened. I think it's because I had kids.
Mm-hmm.
And something had to give, and it was me being tidy. I don't like to read for a long time. I think that's true. I get bored. I like to make people laugh. Why, yes. Having children is the goal of my life. Ooh. It was not. I love them. I
Good.
spend a lot of time with people. Yes. I want to be very good at what I do. Yes. I love to try new things. Sure. People think I'm goofy.
Not at all.
No. I say no. They might think I'm crazy, but that's different from goofy. No. I want people to like me. Sure. How I look is important to me. Sure. We're kind of in the beauty business.
Mm-hmm.
I will play alone if I feel like it. No. I'll do something else. I like to play games. Yes. I get grouchy if I don't have enough sleep.
Yes.
I can make it work. I want people to be proud of me. I want me to be proud of me. I worry about trying new things. No, I do not. What I wear doesn't matter to me. No, that's not true. I find a lot of things funny. Why, yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I need to feel calm and relax in my daily life. I don't need to. What my friends think about me is important. I think, sure. You want your friends to think you're a good person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like to be right. Well, of course I do. Oh, that's going to end badly. I would
Yep.
do something even if my friend doesn't. Yes, I would still do something if my friend's not doing it. I think school is fun.
No.
No, I don't. I think parts of school were fun, but not enough of it to say school was fun. Staying warm is critical during winter.
Kind of.
I prefer working with a group to working alone. I almost feel like it depends on what it is, but I'll go with group.
I feel the same way. I was kind of like,
I like to organize activities. Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. I don't like being told what to do. 1,000 times yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like to sing and dance along to music. I like to sing. Learning first aid is important. Yes, I do believe
Mm-hmm.
that's good. I like meeting new people. Yes. I have to tell you about what I did the last few days. It bothers me if things aren't the way I want them to be. No. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I say no. Being neat and tidy doesn't matter to me. That's true. It should, but it doesn't. People think I'm funny. Yes, we already said that. A sense of safety and security is important to me. Oh. Now I have to put in my name and my email.
So do I.
Okay. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, here we go.
Wow, you guys, this is not what it used to be.
Oh, heck no.
No,
I got my score.
I got my score too. Did you get your score?
I did.
Tell me what you got.
74%.
Okay. What was the biggest part of what was the biggest breakdown?
2 categories were love and belonging
Okay.
and freedom. I scored 90 in those.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay. So love and belonging needs, that's way higher than it used to be. My power and achievement normally is like off the charts. So that's very different to me. My fun need being higher, my freedom need being higher, that's different too. I mean, seriously, like when I would take this before, it would be like power. So I don't know what happened, but it did. And what I love is you can do the report download. And I'm wondering, where does it go? Click here to proceed. the reason why I wanted to make sure that we hit this, it's all based on the guy is William Glasser, Dr. William Glasser. And so basically your bullet points, and I'm going to screen share this because it's a good one to share. Share the screen, by golly. This is kind of going with like the emotional management piece of stuff. To kind of keep yourself in check. So love and belonging is belonging, being loved, being respected, friendship, sharing, and cooperation. Those are like trigger words that help keep you juiced. Power, the recognition, the success, being, feeling important, feeling like you've got achievement, and skills. Fun is enjoyment, laughter, learning, and change. Survival, your health, relaxation, sexual activity, food, warmth, all that stuff is part of your survival. So that's your safety and security part. And then your freedom and flexibility is having choices and independence. And I can't read that. And
freedom from and freedom to.
Thank you. Freedom from and freedom to. So I love this. And then basically it goes right down the line of what each one is. And I think it's awesome. So I just want to hit this. If you're like, let's say love and belonging, it's the need to love and care for others and believe that we're doing the same in our interactions with family, friends, coworkers, and other acquaintances. He mentions that this need is one of the most important needs to be fulfilled. And this is talking in terms of like students. I mean, they talked about school and stuff. So that's one of the things in here. But in a relationship setting, if one's need is a love and belonging and the partner spends most of their time ignoring, the relationship will soon end. That makes sense. In a school setting or like a business or a work setting, their presence is valued by individuals in the classroom who are important to them in order to feel welcomed by their peers and adults. Students may play a role that matters to them personally and to the group as a whole in order to accomplish this. Unmet needs among students who don't feel this way can cause issues with behavior, learning, and academic performance. Okay, so high power need people. They require a sense of empowerment, worthiness, self-efficacy, and achievement in order to feel worthy of themselves. Power is, in this context, is characterized by the need to be able to be capable, not by the exercise or exploitation of our authority over another person. An exterior sense of being heard and appreciated, a sense of feeling competent and achieving recognition, and an interior sense of accomplishment, pride, importance, and self-esteem are all involved. Students want to participate in activities if they have a say in and they want those activities to be relevant to them. Power in school setting may be characterized by students' ability to make decisions and be equal contributors to learning, students consequently feeling assured. In the case of a workplace environment, power needs is satisfied when the staff is able to accomplish results through the performance. Okay. Nobel Prize in Science, top sales performer, etc. Freedom and flexibility. It's the urge for independence and autonomy, the capability to freely choose, create, explore, express oneself, the ability of enough room to move around, and the sensation of being unfettered in making decisions and exercising free will. One must have that's not true. One must have independence, options, choices, autonomy, and liberty. I thought I jumped a line in both the physical and psychological senses to accomplish this. Simple acts of freedom in an environment include being able to get a drink when you need one, moving through the hallways at your own leisure, and deciding what to eat for lunch. Ideally, it also contains the freedom to create, the time to think independently, and the opportunity to share what you have made or considered in the context of learning. School environment can be an atmosphere of a controlled periods of physical, emotional, and intellectual growth when the freedom of body and thinking are crucial. This is because organized school schedules, crowded conditions, and obedience to school expectations. That makes sense. Students who constantly or repeatedly feel physically or creatively stuck may feel placed in this role of outcasts, which may result in unproductive freedom activities. In the context of workplace environments, one would need the freedom to do creative things the staff are able to do. Micromanaging will only bring about disaster, and staff leaving the same goes for relationships that are much too clingy and may break it rather than make it. Okay. Fun and pleasure. Fun is the psychological need for enjoyment. It's the desire to have a good time at work, a good sense of humor, a passion, interest, and to feel enthusiastic about a task or leisure activity. Enjoyment, pleasure, relaxation, laughing, and learning are all aspects of having fun. If a teacher understands the benefits of learning and social interaction, students will like school. When students achieve learning achievement and competency, fun is maximized. Additionally, combining laughter with learning can strengthen the bond between teachers and pupils. Students who encounter peer difficulties or academic frustrations at school frequently fail to satisfy their need for fun. I'm looking. I'm going to go to the next post. Hopefully, we're going to see what we want, or else I'm going to cry. No, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Get out. So, all right. Was that all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did I talk about survival needs?
I don't know.
I don't think I did.
I don't know if you did or not.
Okay. Survival needs. Our fundamental psychological requirement is to reproduce in order to continue existing as a species and as individuals. That's a lot of pressure. Our bodily demands for food, drink, air, safety, shelter, warmth, health, and sex are all part of the survival process. In order to survive, one must also require protection and enough money. This is your safety and security, people, to cover basic expenses. Beginning with a daily evaluation of the sufficiency of their food, sleep, clothes, and health needs, survival can have a lot of significance for kids in the classroom. And it's also critical of how the home environment is handled here. So let's jump to the workplace area here. An additional survival need for students is the basic ability to achieve academic success, which results in this sense of security with teachers and classmates. Academic issues, as well as interpersonal and intrapersonal difficulties brought on by problems at home or with peers, can have an impact on learning and progress with peers. Students who are distracted by personal problems, absenteeism, home problems, or academic difficulties are less likely to succeed in the classroom. Well, I think that holds true with work too, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So those are our, wasn't that fun? I'm going to stop sharing there. Those are like your bullet points. So if that just seems like it's a little bit whacked, and you can always retake the quiz, because I do think stuff evolves. There's one that talks about words of affirmation and physical touch and those needs, which is similar-ish.
Right.
Out to these. I think there's all different kinds of ones out there, but I think it's important to kind of research a little bit. And this is kind of your task in our emotional management homework, is to look into, what are, it could be more about the 5 basic needs. It could be about the DISC. It could be about the one where we talked about, and I can't remember the name of that one. The words of affirmation, physical touch, that one. To do a little bit of research, to be able to do a little bit of a, hey, this is what I learned about it. This is what, this is how it rang to me. And especially if you don't have to share who you can think of that belong in these categories, but if there's people that that you're instantly like, oh, that's that person. Because I know for me, I'll talk for my children because they're very different. They both okay, Ainsley is, what is the minimal amount of effort that I have to put forth to get the base level acceptance grade that will keep everybody off my back so that I can play video games? That is my child.
Very true.
And that is my child, and But so that doesn't put her in power and achievement. That I feel like puts her more in that freedom and flexibility kind of area.
Or the fun.
or the fun. And so if I'm getting on her about, this, that, or the other thing, it's not going to motivate her.
Mhm.
But if it's a, hey, you're wanting to be able to do this, well, you've got to get X, Y, Z done in order to be able to do that. It's a little bit of extrinsic motivation to give them the intrinsic happiness piece,
Right.
Like with Zoe, though, she's much more, I think love and belonging is a big one for her. And I think the power and achievement one is a big one for her because and I think it's kind of what drives her in her current, she's a musical theater and dance major. You've got to want it. You've got to be like hungry and you've got to be going for it all the time. And I think she's always had that,
Right.
that drive. And so I feel like that's kind of, if I were to put labels on my kids, that's it. So how I talk to them, and they've noticed it. They notice how I talk to one is different from how I talk to the other when we're having either conflict or I'm trying to do a motivation kind of thing. It's really helpful if you can not put a label on them, but be able to identify what in the world it is that helps them tick.
Right.
It's like when we're talking with consultants or we're talking with customers. Everybody's different. Okay, so what I did the last 3 days, I was sitting there thinking to myself, what can I do to get new people? Because we talk about this a lot, that we all want to meet new people. So I put a message out to every principal friend I knew. And that was a decent number because I used to be in education. And I said, here's what I would like to offer you guys for Teacher Appreciation Week, is I come in either before school lunches or after school. I camp out in the lounge or the mailroom, wherever you want to put me. And I offer hand treatments and or lip treatments. And I'll have a product giveaway and some goodies if they enter to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one principal that operates 2 campuses get back to me right away and said, I'm in. And another one is a middle school teacher or middle school principal. And he was like, that's awesome. Let's do it. And because they heard the magical phrase, no cost to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I did was I kind of made the human sweatshop with Sparkle City stuff. And I put samples together, which I made tons of. So those are going to become like giveaways in my goodie bags for customers right now, because it's just a pennant that says you're the best. On the back side, I put a QR code that I just on those, the sticky one, everything is on one page sticker thing.
Yep.
I spit off a bunch of QR codes for my website. So that was on the back side of the pennant. And then, I think I have one right here. It's not put together because I haven't finished them all, but these guys, okay? And on the back side, put that on there. And then I made the little goodie bags, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, cut it. I cut it in thirds. Then I was able to figure out from some of the Sparkle City training that they've done, because they did it on bigger bags, how to turn that piece of paper into a goodie bag. And then I stuffed in each one a charcoal mask sample and a moisture renewing gel mask sample. And then I sealed it and stuck the pennant onto it. And that was their gift if they entered into the drawing. And you could do it just as simple as they could earn a satin handset. You don't have to have it be a giant gift, right?
Right.
But I did it where it was like about, a $200 gift box of do-it-yourself home spa. And what I did was I kind of ballparked in my brain. It was like, okay, how many teachers and staff? Because I said invite everybody, not just teachers. And yes, guys can still wash their hands, right? So between the 3 campuses, I did the math, and we were talking about 200 staff members. So I was like, okay, so if I can have anywhere between 25 and 30 people enter between the 3 campuses, because not everybody goes to the teacher's lounge at lunchtime. Not everybody trusts people with product to strangers to touch their hands, which I did not touch their hands. I squirted stuff onto their hands and they worked it. So I did no touching. And I did the math, 25.
Huh?
25 entered. And from that, you've got people that like, the Google form that I created was, just to, conversation. Like, would you be interested in learning more about basic skincare, color, gift giving? None. If you don't want to learn anything about anything, that's fine. And the cool thing was having conversations with people, because we were chatting and like one lady was like, oh, I used to use Mary Kay, but I just love going to the department store. So I use brand X now. I'm like, you love going to the store? Well, that's great. That's great. That's awesome. She's like, but I really love, the reason why my skin looks so great now is because of all the Mary Kay I used when I was younger. And I was like, okay. And so I kind of let her just kind of keep talking, because I was like, I didn't want to sit there and say, well, brand X isn't as good as Mary Kay because, or anything like that. I was just like, I'm just going to let her talk. And then she came over and tried the hand products, and she's like, what do you guys, what's the skincare like these days? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so great. And then somebody else was like, well, I had an aunt that used to sell Mary Kay. I don't know why she stopped. It was like those kinds of conversations. I had another lady yesterday that said, I sold Mary Kay like 20 years ago. I don't know why I stopped. And I was like, well, you can always start again, and just kind of figuring out, like, as they're talking to you, like some of them were like, yeah, I'm going to host a party. That'd be great. And some people are like, I don't want to get people together. Are you kidding me? So it's like, it's very much, okay, I can be with that person one at a time, and she can still become a good customer. And just being friendly. And I was really trying to pay attention to, like, what is their personality? Like, what's making them tick? Because it ties into customer service. It ties into everything that we do, where we're wanting to just use our ears and use our lips less.
Mm-hmm.
I had a former consultant of mine who I adore. She is traveling back and forth to Phoenix constantly because she's got an ailing mother, and she's running herself ragged. And I haven't seen her in quite a while, but I know she's okay. And she texted me out of the blue today and said, Danny, I've got to do something about my skin because I look old. I've got dark circles under my eyes, and I need to take care of myself because this is killing me. And I was like, okay, let's get together and talk, and then we'll figure out what you need. I said, because, I could tell you right now what I know you need to be using, but I want to talk to you. Because she needs to, when you talk, as soon as they say dark circles, what do you think? Terry, what do you think that they should be using?
Probably an eye cream of some sort.
You betcha. And right there, I mean, that's, deductive reasoning. Yay. And with that, if it's like dark circles, if they're anywhere over 35, I'd put them on the Repair Eye Cream right out of the gate. If they're under 35, just ask them, how have you used an eye cream before? Because if they haven't, the time-wise eye cream is perfectly fine. I use that most of the time because it's just what's right here in front of me most of the time, and so it does the job. It gets the job done. Firming eye cream is great, especially anybody who's complaining about this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you listen and then assess. There was a gal today that she'd used Mary Kay since she was 18 years old. She moved away from Texas, kind of fell out of touch with her consultant, and she's kind of just been ordering it randomly from whoever they give her on 1-800-MARY-KAY. Because you can go to marykay.com and just order.
Yeah.
And someone will take care of you.
I've done that.
Yep. And, but she wants someone to take care of her, And I said, okay, so what are you used to using? And she said, well, usually just cleanser, moisturizer. And I said, okay, well, then that's what we'll start with. And then when you're ready, we can add things, because if you were to tell her that she needs the Ultimate Miracle Set, or better yet, the Ultimate Repair Set, because she's over 50, and she's a cleanser, moisturizer only girl, you're going to lose her, because that was like, she's very much a freedom and flexibility type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that was kind of like, okay, we're going to, and we talked a little bit about our similar experience pre-using the product, what we were using on our faces before. Ha ha ha. That's so funny. That kind of thing. And people asking like, how long do I have to wait for it? Well, it depends, if you're not in a hurry and you don't want to like interact with someone, we can do customer delivery service. If you need it tomorrow, then we can bring it to you. It just kind of, it was very good questions that they were asking. And it was really, I was perky the whole time. But they were all really, really nice, which was good.
I don't think I've ever seen you not be perky, Danny.
No, it's tough. But I did get to see 2 former students from 2 of my schools, because one taught at one of the places and one taught at another. Got to see, oh my gosh, 3 people I used to work with. So that was great. So I mean, it was a very fun experience. So my thought on that was just asking, what do you do? What do you do? Like, it could be as simple as if somebody is, let's say, a wedding planner.
Mm-hmm.
And who do you have set up for bachelorette type parties that are not the crazy kind, but because you can do bachelorette makeovers, bachelorette pajama parties, where they're drinking orange juice or whatever, and you're doing those kinds of can you partner with someone to be able to be introduced? Because I was thinking of that mainly because I was thinking, when did I have the biggest influx of customers? And the biggest influx of customers for me was when I was still working a job, because I had a lot of contacts. And then once you're no longer working the job, or your contacts at the job are limited because maybe there aren't a lot of people at the job, at your place of work, well, then what do you do outside of work that will get you introduced to people? Yes, networking groups are great when you can be a part of them. But like simple stuff like Bunko, book club, stuff at church. I used to get customers at church because I taught the little ones. First grade once a week. And I'd see moms and I, mention it not at church. I'd mention it at church, not at church class, and that was a way to interact with people. Because it's just kind of not staying quiet, but taking that little step forward.
I see your cat in the background.
Yeah, that's Crusher. Finn's on a play date. I'm still house sitting for another week. Yeah, one more week. A week from tonight, they'll be back. They're all over, you guys. I house sit for these friends a lot. And they're just great, but it gets a little tricky this week because Jeff and I fly to Detroit tomorrow because Ainsley graduates on Saturday.
Oh, yay.
We have neighbors taking care of the dog and the cat for the 4 days that I'm gone. So it's like a relay handoff that we were doing tonight. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, good times all around. But yeah, so what questions can I answer for you, Miss Terry?
Well, it's not necessarily questions. It's I guess for me, I need to get out there a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I kind of I go to work and I come straight home.
Uh-huh.
And then I work the business for the photography and I work a little bit of Mary Kay here and there. So
do you ever do you do grocery shopping or do you have it delivered?
I go grocery shopping.
That's a good time to go. Like when you're put together feeling cute, go. And, don't be like, Scary K on the cart, but I see her. She has skin. Let me talk to her. Bam, ram the cart into her. Don't do that. But it's really good because you can have conversations and kind of start up there or at the checker, hey, if it's not a busy line, hey, do you happen to have a Mary Kay consultant? Because I'm just starting to build my customers. It just matter of fact conversation. A lot of times the first thing out of their mouth would be like, oh my gosh, I just heard it's so expensive. And you're like, no, it's really not compared to how long it lasts and blah, blah, blah,
Right.
But you don't have to buy anything. You just have to try it. So let's just try it. I promise you don't need to buy anything. And then they get hooked and they love it and they want to buy it. And then they do. And then their face is happy and they realize they don't spend as much because they're not buying it as often.
Yeah.
That first little step. Going to like a library, going to the mall was always overwhelming to me, like walking through the mall because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's I don't know. But what you could do is kind of like what I did with this. You could go into like a restaurant at not peak time, and just say, hey, can I talk to the manager? And just introduce yourself and say, I would love to be able to, be at the front with the hostess on a Saturday or a Wednesday, whatever day you're off, and at lunch or breakfast or whatever time you want to go, and do, a customer appreciation drawing, and then, give them a little something, something. And like I did not use any paper. I used QR codes for everything. And then that way I didn't have to worry about bringing clipboards or any of that stuff, because that was always something that I would forget or run out of, or not have enough pens and that kind of thing. But I loved being able to just hand them the phone and say, here, just fill out the survey.
Right.
And if it's not a corporate place, it's definitely a place to ask. And sometimes they say they'll have to ask corporate, and that's fine. Have them ask corporate. Say, who do we need to ask? Because sometimes I think it's easier to talk to perfect strangers because you're not nervous because they don't know you. It's just the goofiest thing, right? I know, and somebody asked me what my funniest icebreaker thing to do is, like at an event, like when you're trying to like mingle with people. And it was something that I saw on like, things that you would like to do, and if I'm with a group, I'll look at them and go, I bet you are all wondering why I've assembled you here. And I did that once in an elevator with my kids, and they were like, Mom. And I was like, and they, all the people were laughing, and Jeff laughed. He thought I was a dork, but just something like that. It's not, I don't know. I feel like I get nervous. I do get nervous.
Yeah.
But I feel like the vast majority of people are nervous too. And so I kind of think of it as, if you flash them a smile, that usually breaks the ice a little bit. If you can pay them a compliment, a genuine compliment, that is helpful in a big way.
Right.
And then, a little bit of small talk, especially like if you're in an aisle and you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't handle all the bread. All the bread choices are making me crazy. Or if you're looking for something and can't find it, and you ask somebody for, legitimately can't find it. Because there was one time I was looking for molasses, couldn't find molasses to save my life, because Ainsley needed them to make cookies for something that she was making. And somebody helped me. And once I found it, I saw them in another aisle, and I said, oh my gosh, I just want, you were such a big help to me that I want to treat you to a sample. And that was just as simple as that. And they're like, oh, that's so great. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Does that make sense though? That kind of the ideas? Because I don't want you to have like 17 ideas and then your brain just blows up.
Wow. The brain might still blow up.
It still might blow up. But I think, some of my best parties that I've ever had came from people that I just had met that got friends together. And then they became really good customers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely something that you can draw on. And you could even say, you can put your photography and your Mary Kay together and say, hey, you know what, we could do mother-daughter pictures, maybe like have a discounted rate or something, whatever you're wanting to do, family quick shots or quick glamour shots. We'll do a dash out the door makeover and do, an after picture. Think of what you could do that way to really market both.
Right.
Without making the photo experience not a great experience. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want you undercutting yourself. But yeah, crazy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many options.
There are so many options.
It's true. It's true. And the cat wants to climb up and say hi and then give me all his cat hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So have a wonderful week.
All right. Well, you too, Miss Danny.
Find a personality thing that you want to learn a little more about and be ready to share next week.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll have oodles of fun. All right, friend.
Bye.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.